Good morning to all fellow Sierra Leoneans. Good morning to all well-meaning APCians. I send greetings to my brothers and sisters in both home and the diaspora. Also send greetings and prayers to brothers and sisters and we currently in a detention. May God Almighty guide and protect them. And they also send greetings and prayers to brothers and sisters and we the exile. May God Almighty guide and protect them. And they also send prayers to people and we know well waiting a sick bed. May God Almighty give them medicine for we. Well body not something way we can normally they say na gentry wallahi billahi. Especially brothers and sisters in the diaspora, the kind fluid, the cold way then they facing presently, funny for them. May God Almighty guide and protect them. Therefore, we now out of that particular call again, then can come out so let them try they manage and do what they're supposed to do back home. Arab. May God Almighty guide and protect to brothers and sisters and me. And they also send greetings and prayers to we mama and papa, brothers and sisters, including all other call the one that we don't die. We suddenly don't today. May God Almighty sorry for them. As I can always say, that's how we suddenly don't so wallahi billahi, not too bad luck then gets, but rather na time na indoor reach for the own side. Me and you too, me time get for kai, own time get for kind, we all time get for come. That is why let we go to remember that particular grave, what's in the inside the wallahi billahi, not to gladness at all. Anytime they tell you about grave, you will get your five senses, you they think completely wallahi for no say that particular sign. Anybody who did anybody who don't go there, wallahi billahi, all what they do now for they pray for the one that we don't die. So to the one them we don't contribute one way or the other and them works is there. So wallahi billahi, let God Almighty guide them, protect them for we, especially Masjid Burhan, then accommodate to the matters in our we get again one with sister na of course being at the United States of America. Of course, this with sister are in for good they do goodness, wallahi billahi to them works is them, the tie at all. One know if he can give this month, take them back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, then he do him back. Wallahi, this with sister, I know we call him, but may God Almighty bless them. One now always don't give for sake of God Almighty. May God Almighty guide and protect you now. And one me mama again, after God Almighty blessing, this na me mama now, I know we call them no more. Certain people in Kinde, God Almighty they send them for you for a purpose. Let God Almighty guide and protect them for me. Wallahi billahi, let God Almighty guide and protect them for we all, because I know say I want calling him, but I know calling him. The people anytime we in a stressful moment where somebody come and aid you out of that particular stressful moment, they come and solve your own problem through God Almighty and blessing. I think a very generous somebody for you. So let God Almighty guide and protect we all. So as I say, let we not forget, let we not left for at all for do goodness. Just like us some of brothers and sisters, they know they ever stop for do goodness when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on your side, because that goodness now you get for the utina you grave where you get for the not to that house, not to them to count to you luxurious thing them, but you goodness only now you get for the inside that 6 feet graves. So now all we don't give let God Almighty guide and protect you. Now no meet up forget, may God Almighty again let it turn una heart way give una let una do for sake of God. Today me people in wallahi billahi, I get a sad word and call inna lillahi wa inna lillahi raji'un. Me people them, it's so sorry yesterday, then just send me my big brother in picture. I was shocked for CC. God Almighty don't take in life. We say he don't today. May God Almighty sorry for and day. I know every sickness, me people. But I say, as I can always say, you see that way then call Al Mount when I die. Wallahi be like they meet much Al Mount expected. It's a way expect them. Today I don't get me people. And when God Almighty don't take their life, I'm not able for meet up them burial because of waiting they go on through by waiting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't put me pan today. But thankfully enough that yesterday they don't go am to rest. May God Almighty sorry for them. Whatever waiting I wrong do is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala go sorry for them. Wallahi be like, I so feel them, especially somebody who now all day inside the family. It big for you, but no matter how it takes, you get that particular respect for you. Today, God Almighty don't take them. We say he don't today. May God Almighty sorry for them. Ya Rab, do ya? So all me people in this sadness today. But no matter how it takes, God Almighty let can pass we all. And God Almighty let can pass me, because if you are last but not Allah not for let can, forever bring and come at the world. So that is why to waiting God Almighty put me today. Wait now for waiting for come and talk for me on people them. Wallahi billah no go ever tie upon that. Now I make I can always pray to God. May God Almighty put darkness between we and the bad one them. So many people learn for the audio for today by God Almighty in power. I get for talk something concerning waiting. We say the grand plan come out from the SLPP for the MPs. Now only reading this their way I talk to and say the SLPP stakeholders and the MPs and don't already conclude to a meeting for say if this particular power come on and then brother in hand when I no less a person now we own brother in hand when I bio this power commodity then force then do all kinds of for let the power come on and bio in hand waiting go happen then self go march out of parliament then say then they do just like how the APC do, way they no partake first na the House of Parliament at all. But I just want to tell and say now a sad mistake today on side. But I will tell you now, outside the grand plan come out, me people, and let God Almighty tankawi bad sababu to somebody who na the day na host, where they ready for fight you, wallahi billah, if you not to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and your own power, that person will conquer you. But we tell God Almighty, thank you, that this particular battle, wallahi billah, not to be left again. That's how they tell every other Sierra Leonean for say, not to be left again. But wallahi billah, they tell una say everything left to God Almighty. That's how they tell una for sure. Sierra Leonean, let we just get this happiness, let we get this belief into Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and side for say, not to be again, but not to God Almighty. And that particular time, wallahi billah, Arab, I want to tell you plenty, thank you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Me people, so this will be my first topic for say the grand plan, who say it come out. And again, me people, yesterday, when a Friday, a discussion be there right inside the VP's office, where Freeton, we all know, of course, inside the VP's office, where just you get the VP's office or come up by Tawail now, then you get the president, you get the state house in the don't say, whatever. So a discussion will be there concerning but waiting. We waiting at social media today through God Almighty blessing. And especially me, we God Almighty they use now, so certain thing the word they point them direct, we then self no say, yes, indeed, this are real things where this brother also they pull out in all that stuff then they. So in people again, I get for talk something concerning but waiting for say the SLPP when once then they in governance, now two things they always then can say for destroy themselves. If you not to rest, na cocaine. The other thing I go talk about to say again say SLPP whenever then they into governance, if you not to rest, wallahi be like na cocaine, nine they take destroy themselves. Then they we all know. Then inside them people I get for explain a grand plan concerning about this particular cocaine saga, this, that, whatever. People will join hands in all of this particular destruction. But today, I not go end this particular topic of the cocaine because Boku, as of yesterday, I get a Boku facts back again and again. So it's a way even the soldiers them way they get for apprehend that particular vehicle. When they go for go shot, decide who side they would call. I've got all those particular evidences, me people. Let God Almighty continue for protect we as a nation. Me people again, by God Almighty power. Today, they say when person do good, praise and say you don't do good. When you do bad, point and to and say you don't do bad. I just want to say special thanks to the Potloko District Council chairperson, including the Potloko City mayor, respectively. What come I go talk to now concerning but waiting they don't do the development as tries them where they don't take for put in place now EBK, when harnessed by Koroma University, of course, inside Potloko City. But I will tell you now something way concerning that. And me people must to talk to now. Me people one of the first things the way I discussed to now with the grand plan where the SLPP then be sit down to a meeting where then conclude that particular meeting. Say when this power they can't come on and what thing go happen, they say no go participate in governance by how they go left inside the well of parliament with people. So and both home and the diaspora we now all know say we get reckless mortal man, sycophants people and people we don't put themselves say then on no account this particular country, no they ever did the way is supposed to the way them people are. So we get them inside the APC. We get Obai Kamakumbus, when Anes by Kuruma, former president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Then we get Obai Katabot, when a deputy Satan Mikael Masare. Then we get Obai Kan Kukusamba, when a Dabobo Usman Fodi Ansane, we in face dry like that fish, working called Kabukobo me people, Molahi Bilai. Then including the cohorts, the way they get behind them people. The grand plan Usai Ikomot concerning but waiting me people, the parliamentarians therefore walk out of parliament, Wallahi Bilai. Then say if you see say go able for rule country, maybe na way that particular parliament they go function well. Now you go able for them call and say get wrong guys. There why na the main people and there why we are called the likes of the Cherry Coco and others. There why na then sit down then come up with this particular grand plan for the SLPP where then give them the idea and no sooner than they pass this idea to the SLPP people them wallahi billahi them buy them and they were in jubilant mood because of voting according to the SLPP the one they way did it they were not the stakeholders and now under this power regime it get the clean SLPP people them where before say them absolutely then left the country. Some of them then they wallahi billahi. But there were when this particular idea come up from the likes of the Cherry Coco, we hate himself past any other mortal man, wallahi, I never meet them type mortal mortal man they are. Then say look road for lay rich and that quick way no go even take waiting 1 hour. I say no, I say they go take the road we get for do it almost so tell me life go end, they no go be for me. Now that road they this boy so go take. Then at the end of the day, today now then they see don't forget a grand plan like this. So according to the why make them come up with this particular grand plan, me people and for sell like this idea to the SLPP so that the SLPP MPs then go walk out of parliament where themselves no go participate in governance at all because they know now say outrightly through God Almighty blessing, wallahi billahi, Sambura and presidency na sure for sure, 100% sure, nothing all the poil and people. As I always tell when I say this particular God Almighty, who all the worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his own throne. Anytime we don't say la na inge di kun for ya kun that way then call paupa, wallahi na God Almighty na fit because we see say yes, na yes, nothing changes it. As it stands, I let the one old world say Samura enough for be president, but hence God Almighty, we don't mold in yesterday for say Samura go be president of this republic. Nobody stop that. And me people them, I just want for tell una say through God Almighty blessing for tell una say finally by God Almighty power una nori through God Almighty blessing everything is well set and everything is ready for His Excellency Dr. Matthew Samura Kamara. Just as I write this tell una into me intro for say this whole problem now concerning but with a peaceful transition, I put into a categorical and emphatically clear say not to be again but not to God Almighty in your side. Una all know me own presentation always na God, na me leader, God, na me everything. So without God, I know say there is no better existence for me. So all next of them. So that is why I count me God Almighty to anything 100%, 100 above percent. So that's how they tell una for sure. We see we can normally they call on una, tell una say una let we pray for sake of God. But before even at the progress, I just want to forget. Let put this inside me people them. One per we know well as I talk to una. One per we know well. I know come and call in name na social media, but one per we know well. And through God Almighty blessing, where they ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may go get well body for we because this particular personality be so very much instrumental whenever do audio people and no go feel the way like they're supposed to then call because it don't be so much instrumental, it don't bridge barriers of tribalism, this, that, or whatever. Today, God Almighty don't ask and force the what they call the battle with the health. May God Almighty give a medicine for we people. So they are going forward as I rightly they talk. Whenever you get bad people in our society, what thing they do, then go find the road them where it be for say na so struggle for you. Now, in as much as Oba Ikatabot, when our deputy Satan Minkai Lumasari, Oba Ikama Kumos Mafet, when our EBK former president, Anes by Kuruma, will all be the praise as an idol, bio this man will be ever like this country in better one, with Oba Ikan Kukusamba, including the co-hosts them, the Cherry Kuku, the Bai Mahmoud and others. Then why I get a grand plan, a meeting where then conclude for say, then sell this idea, say, if you see Samura Kamara go make what then call now, way it be for say the SLPP go participate in governance, we then go in a parliament, but if you do not participate, things then go tough, just like how things then tough for Bioso. But then forget one thing for no say, this particular God as I always they tell me people, whenever I don't give something, don't give nobody stop that, nobody changes that. And that particular one in 2018, Samura Kamara, after God Almighty blessing, be say yes, where that bobo, why I say that way that man, where he come and say a regime change, when at the West would then call at the end of the day, what he then do, then go through the regime change. But we know no more see, not to God began, and they will lie be like me, Alaji, Northwest. I get the 100% conviction, say not to God began, because what thing God Almighty give more time, man, he they enjoy him, he they see all the road there, everything they open for them. But when I remember now, since 2018 to date, when I point the good thing way be, even though yes, something they way I know they talk now, way be to me, then in a very good thing because now a very clean slate where Samura Kamara they can use. If you know more Samura Kamara want for do good thing them, and of course I know say go Samura is ready to do good thing them, and we're ready for do good thing. And don't forget if man around you, you not forget somebody where you know say if you don't commit atrocity around yourself. No, always you need forget now clean people the way they think development and like how they think development as Samura Kamara. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell that categorically clear say the idea behind the SLPP saying they will not participate in the governance of His Excellency Dr. Matthew Samura Kamara. This particular idea came from the APC stalwarts. We then don't put themselves together, say on no accounts that in their own era, Sierra Leone not for go before at all, but rather than for destroy this particular nation. We then can always forget say then that the way born they not ever contribute a single cup of dirty in this particular land the people. They why and then give the idea to the SLPP in as much as they don't do all what it takes go helter skelter without seeing no road for say them going for fetch this particular man. Now that particular side they then go open. But guess what? I just want to tell me, remind me brothers and sisters and say them money them way them be trust disperse una, then 1 billion to una, the MPs they win alone. Now government couple, not to una own couple. So all that stuff then they now go sit down and you host, wait them come. In fact, the other thing again, now not even go that side. But this apparently go before the newly coming MPs then, because una, of course, una know now the kind thing them we empower now, we are not they even conclude or neither discuss that particular one themselves. So, but always I tell the general populace that the idea behind these particular people, the SLPP for conclude to a meeting say they no will participate in governance, wallahi be like come out from the APC Cherikuku we hate himself past all, then Minkai Lobai Katabo deputy Satan, then that other Boba Ikakobo, then Oba Ikamakumbos, they are all in cahoots in this particular one. You see how people and destroy people them. So this now for them, this now the first topic where I go talk about. The other discussion where I go tell now this girl for those the office of the vice president, winner, the illegitimate vice president, if I could title him exactly, winner, Julia Jallo. Yesterday, winner, Friday, winner, Juma, then we get a discussion day. But this particular discussion come about, if you remember from the very day where I can't talk about that particular drugs, the heavy drugs we then count, me people, may God Almighty help we. Since we account that particular thing, they one pan the staff them where they inside the VP's office, come and how will I call it? According to Ram, he say IG Fire Selo in blunders and Tuboku say since the one way the bloggers them, especially the Northwest, say this behind they point out something. They say they are always they point out these are things them way they ongoing. I have to say thank you, my brother. Congratulations in the first place for let it come out bluntly before them for point out say the only thing the way are the old and call these are things them way they happen within on a realm. I have to say plenty thanks. I have to tell you back say the talk don't reach me, and thankfully enough that you guys are listening to the sweet voice of Northwest. Me people, and why make this bobo use them particular utterances and they say them we don't tell IG Fire Cell say, people like we know for exist, therefore make sure say they go all out, let them trace we so that they go able to get we to who side they want to. Say all their information they are now me people the way they come, say not to good information, or not to good thing them at all. Say but all within the IGB just the part. It say especially this particular consignment we come we are talk about. Say now one heavy consignment. So me people this guy has to talk I remember he gave me brother. You remember when they try for exit now? So to una come up after una run the way they car open gates for you, La ilaha illallah. Me people I have some people they call pass you laugh. So this guy of course knows according to Ram say IG self contribute to this because according to Ram say even the last meeting where them they get where go updates VP Julia Jallo say them play me audio when they listen to that particular audio say them be now be they expect say Fire Selo for don't put things them in place but nothing at short. He say nothing they don't do. He say somebody at one point in time tell them when me and to be go when me and to attend the same college tell them say them be see me at one point in time na Joey say if he info be there around in a simple logic say now for be just say police no more the other me arrest say they want to that police me brother by God Almighty power God no will ever make set eyes on me the very day where you get for see me by God Almighty power now the day where this particular power they can't come out waiting from the hands them where the power not belong for go to the hands where the power God Almighty be say this particular power therefore that's how they tell you for sure that's promoting the hands of BO going further to the hands of His Excellency Dr. Magdwisin Samura Kamara where by God Almighty power we now all get written and what you the think hoping that this man they come for revenge is that what I be but Samura Kamara say my Sierra Leone my responsibility and hence where he say my Sierra Leone my responsibility I just want to let you know so you own life be inside this my Sierra Leone my responsibility you wife your family including any other Sierra Leonean we not there in any way for come for say for go after anybody go on for do development they fast people no we know the kind of atrocities and the old and the problems and we did so now we they left them problems and they for go solve them first we left there behind over certain things I can just remember when BOB take governance in 2018 as and when it be they go certain things and they go and spoil people then be there way they talk say APC no one forgive BO chance this that or whatever I mean this they ask me say I say na APC then at the central bank na APC then at police na APC then they get the soldier na APC get all other state institutions the answer is no then why blaming the APC always for say they no one forgive BO chance and anybody will lazy at times. Now there's so many excuses where they come to the general populace. So these are the guys. So my brother, I just want to congratulate you in the first place for letting you affirm to the general public or even a company that will be not the discuss not trust the name right inside VP's office for say from where I point that particular thing there. Una be don't tell IG Fire Cell, but IG Fire Cell, you know, it blunder according to Una. You know, so me people these are the guys through God Almighty bless. I just want to tell Una say by God Almighty in power, Sierra Leone go grow and Sierra Leone go enjoy in sweet milk and honey through God Almighty in power. We know to we in power, but that they put to Una, yeah, by God Almighty in power. There is nothing absolutely who go and call. You know, the other thing where I will talk about me people, I will talk about waiting. The SLPP say always whenever them come into governance, all them problem is if you not to cocaine, wallahi billah, go come to waiting rest business. I repeat them, SLPP anytime we then come into governance with people, if you not to cocaine, always now waiting now rest business in the wooden call. You know, Sierra Leone and both home and the diaspora, wallahi billah, I tell you now say through God Almighty in power, the thing behind this particular cocaine business, cocaine saga, we come, you know, from IG Fire Cell and the 20s. You remember, I don't tell you at one point in time, one thing where I tell you I don't know, but you know, even to it, I don't even think if you don't reach 1 week, what I tell you concerning but an audio 1 or 2 weeks, me people for say IG Fire Cell in time don't reach will let he retire from a job. Then going forward, even to Samadi, I said in time they don't reach plus 26 orders. I said, but guess what? VP Jules Jallo, they behind this particular thing for advocates or them people also made them continue now the office there because of voting. Them mortal man and then they play the dirty trick for VP Jules Jallo because of voting in bad deals them. And guess what? This particular Almami Bangura, where they go also Almami Kuken Bangura, you know, born of Cambia district, Mambulo Chivum to be precise. Wallahi Bilai. Then just they no more for set record. This Almami Kuken Bangura, where they go also, Wallahi Bilai, where they under house arrest as it is. I guess for go further for explain certain thing the way the Minister of Foreign Affairs when about Timothy Kabado or then call. You know, so large also then call deliberate something concerning but IG Fire Cell on people. I'm sure when I be everybody that particular broadcast the way I be do concerning them people here for say them people are the retirement time it don't reach. But Jules Jallo they now advocate let them continue in the office then because of voting. Jules Jallo in ulterior motive, me myself and I always monitor they come all kind of angle, you know, all that stuff then we don't know bio na a grand what call of cocaine business, opium, this, that, or whatever. And these are one heavy consignment we can. You know, so IG Fire Cellular start from you. You know, when I look at all the checkpoint in this particular country, or starting from for mile, you know, the checkpoint where they commodity, you go mine 38, the checkpoint where they commodity, you go na Masheka, the checkpoint where they commodity, you go Berry Junction, checkpoint where they we all consider particular checkpoint the way it did in a net, in all the stuff them the checkpoint where they them particular side and they commodity way commodity then going to this place Mangi after we reach now Rogbere bridge before they cross and for go na Madama checkpoint to the back Madama checkpoint then I can be another Madama checkpoint they go cross now for go waiting na can be a customs where then they check you now before they cross this particular border. You know me people one go sit down and ask himself say what's are the purpose of them checkpoint they ask so because to me at first to be they look at and say all them checkpoint they ask so now for exploratory own people and bet now in them checkpoint they ask so for because both the soldier and the police, especially the police, including the traffic wardens, then they monitor with people and no good, no bad. At times, one green one per day, then they will be for say they yield for more than Kiweri, paid and they smell under their hand, they show me people, now they can delay people inside transportation. If you see them old driver for certain thing, pass if you then 200-300 no come, now then get them fake tickets, especially the traffic warden, then get them fake ticket, the way they can issue to drivers, you know, people, all that stuff, then they. Now, you IG Fire Cell, in all of them checkpoint they are so, then we are so cross with this particular cocaine. And guess what? If you know somebody indeed way patriotic, way they think Sierra Leone, the day we are offload that particular audio day, we now all listen to them. Even the one that we go for go update your boss when I Jules Jallo, way then play me audio day concerning that particular thing, we now listen to them. In all of this, if you be Lex Alo, if you don't put things in place, but as I say, then keep you in that position because of what's in the right of the cocaine business we don't do or whatever, this, that, or whatever. Then at the end of the day, till they look at the destruction when I don't commit for the country. So IG Fire Cell me the order you now that particular position if you relinquish with immediate effect. Come on from that position, resign. This time you time, in fact, to let you retire from all the stuff then plus 26 order, including you AIG, where they under you own a Samadia. You know, all the stuff then una don't deceive Sierra Leoneans, but wallahi billah, as you always say, una always join hands for destroy this country, for give this country, put this country into a very bad disrepute. This wall and next will not leave you that akede. God Almighty they continue for this grace una. You know, look at the time when this guy take governance. What be they do? They all over na the world. Where even something go up, we say they try for clean salon image. At the end of the day, you look how you don't left salon image now today. Look how you don't left salon image. Salon don't set history back. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. We're not to any very good history. So now this way, this you clean salon image, you come and set with a neighboring country for that matter. With a neighboring country, you know, it is so bad. The implication it is so daring, my people. Whereas we neighbor they come out, they go commit problem, atrocity, na other man in Oden call. Now in them what a man don't do. So IG for looking at all them checkpoint they ask to them mount. So then checkpoint they are with them mount, una mount them purposefully in order for them friend way out for destroy this particular country. Now where Almami can't say this particular thing, now waiting happen. Now this again they take me to waiting the customs department. Wallahi be like from the customs department now, the immigration department, all them people are also not there for the people of this particular country, but they are rather there for their own ulterior motive. Even before they reach now inside customs, they almost 2 or 3 checkpoints the way they cross them for it now customs and then place them, they all them people and they pass the una do any shot, una do any thorough thing for know that say this particular vehicle na cookie can't take. Maybe don't see Almami before this particular time people and for say Almami na more of drugs them in the traffic. Wallahi be like you never see worship. Maybe people and guess what? Almami Bangura when Almami cooking Bangura for quite a long time, then for don't offer from that particular position day and we call them. But guess what? These Jules de Diallo na it's my but because of them get their own grand plan, they no say Almami na in the bail this particular cooking, waiting happen me people at the end of the day they left and they. But you know what? Now waiting and waiting the pan one. Can you imagine me people them cocaine way it be for say now 7 way they what they think about the kilograms them when about 350 kilograms we check them but we on salon rest now okay always on about 7 bag the weight of them now in a use so motoka when a white motoka pass with them particular they were almost them instead pass with your neighbor them that they show with the effectiveness of neighbor them of how they in terms of their own security. You know me people them when you can out to them people they then decide for do something stupid way them for destroy this particular country for we. You know that one them that customs now the immigration department including all other departments we they ask una kindly that let una tender una resignation let una come on at them particular place and una know what the sort going forward. Even the Minister of Transport and Aviation looking at the very day where that particular plane can on the Minister of Transport and Aviation there is no single flight, there is no single movement where they take place where they were no me people why make a title to this whole thing for saying a grand plan for they were for destroy this country in as much as they know now say they are going I made them decide for do this particular thing. You know the Minister of Transport and Aviation SSF they all depend this particular thing but we they call them kindly they know we want know Sierra Leoneans and they ask the question see the plane who side this particular the plane where they load this thing where they bring and cast alone and from whose country where they load this particular thing. Sierra Leoneans are asking this particular question. We want for know who side this thing come on where salon for can be a transit point for waiting drugs business and now where Almami cocaine Bangura and others and they traffic. You know the highest trafficker ever since in the history of this particular country in Almami. They can't drugs them with this man bailing at this country for good. But guess what, me people them. You know now I see this particular bobo when a Timothy Kaba when a the foreign minister or whatever don't try for let them do something for let them go recall Almami Bangura so that then go pull them from that house arrest for let them count. I don't know apparently then go don't travel with them yesterday. You know it's so shameful, it's so disgraceful, more especially for people in Awala Mambolo to be precise. Wallahi billahi Almami you sorry Allahu Akbar. So la remind when I gave me people them then see them can say you compete the arcade that camera anytime for don't buy in a problem a camera nine for don't Paris Almami. La take una back during the time where them be locked gates for the likes of the Yom Kela we no get blessing pass any other mortal man the likes of the Timbo and others where them be locked the mortal now SLPP party office now this guy we now this Almami Bangura wallahi be like now another ruthless mortal man be problem this guy now be do am now inside SLPP office come on the recent activity wey take place na Guinea now this Alaki Almami come on the brothers the way them be arrested and go punish them for we this Alaki Almami now cause all them stuff them dey but at the end of the day we forget say that way they call Kama wallahi billahi a day today now them people and they hacking and no sit up and guess what now inside jail FBI go jail you for this particular deal I say one thing so now the family of Almami he wait for now this that he wait for them because he say they can't marry again so ready I don't know how you go pull him in Paris and when them go check you ready from the place outside they do business now that stadium where they call Waska outside they do that business that bar where they agree house drugs then they them pack in I mean say wallahi be like then they when I go to Almami Bangura in place they always get wallahi be like then they drugs then they this guy now drugs business a depa we not to funny what they call so this is
is the guy. Then ake they ask now they don't pack by you. And anytime we come immortal man in karma, in hake, in sin, they wouldn't call in. I saw you they go now. But guess what? Timothy, now you don't recall this particular man when Almami. I'm sure maybe late in the evening hours of yesterday, me people then don't take this bobo for bring a cam Sierra Leone, say they can't sign to something. But I give you now again this particular advice, CID or CDID or whatever. Hey, FBI they behind this particular whole thing. If you wanna get sense, anybody pa una we not eat, you not drink, then he come una handle to that investigation pan. So I let una know say una all heads in the rolo. La put an out una because FBI they behind this particular thing, thick and thin. From number one now, take come to the last post you way and the particular thing. So if you there now they try for can implicate una back for la bash una go put una head then. But I just want for let remind una about me people concerning about a flight where I think why US flight will become at this country at one point in time 3 months back or whatever me people you know, I can correct me if I do mistake into this. One flight become at the Lunge International Airport. When this flight also become a people, you know, so many things them be there around for say this flight here now refill, it can't refill this, that, or whatever. Guess what? This flight become people when a special investigators them we get for do drugs because them be don't understand say now this nine the bio current illegitimate administration, then they pay regardless of what in drugs trafficking at this particular country. You know, Salon don't turn to a drug cartel now. That particular plane now, them people and they be bring into exactly now the country me people you know as and when we go just like what we can tell you now that not to everything we can come and talk some then they we they reserve them through God Almighty blessing una get for no if you start in thing and they open them waiting the man they say IXEXE akoka kanti agbons wallahi abuti wallahi anyata balbalanga ya batokanto fengi but in all of this we just left and force if you start in thing there we talk all concern waiting they happen so that plane will become that US flight will become I think where people and they take yes, yeah, for so and this, that, whatever. These are the people they may bring in when people they insinuate say now refill and can refill. But these guys were here purposefully for this particular thing where them people don't back themselves into for traffic drugs in this country. So Timothy Kaba, if you feel say una intelligence una this, and guess what? Where this man they come again, one for see a live update in a, what they call a pictorial evidence, where then they count time a video. Una all remember where then they extradite people from Guinea and our brothers and trade, where then they reach with them a custom, then they video they all snap them, begin them call them. But these we are not bad people. Anything in our society, not bad. I ever in the feds will let them put you under the dock. God Almighty know they ever agree. Wallahi billahi. Now may God be the feds of brothers and sisters. You know, looking at the killings, the way they were don't do now this particular all them thing and they militate against the one now. Almami where they na Guinea, instead of he did it for we see brothers and sisters, and them, he did it purposefully for drugs business. Wallahi billahi. Today, God Almighty do arrange you. And just as I tell now, both CID, police was this, that, whatever, una we get for this investigation. Our una know say FBI know everything, so there is nothing you guys can do where they don't know. So let una self go be careful. La put that particular thing to una. No, it's just too bad. So let's talk to the chairman for the police board when Julia Jallo. You know, Julia Jallo, he says we need explanation from you. Definitely we need explanation from you. One, we need explanation for all the checkpoint they ASU and the atrocities them where they now where the Salon police now don't commit to the people of this particular nation. You know, we the taxpayers that they now request from you, Julia Jallo. Wallahi billahi. You know, somebody we just always require them what almas is be poisonous with people. You know, you get the dangerous one, the way inquire, they get the one the way they think progress. But when you look at Julia Jallo, wallahi billahi, you know, they in that particular trajectory of development, but they in the trajectory of retrogressing this particular nation with all the drugs the way they non count. Now I make where people and be they go and beat to brothers and sisters and try they say operation no push this that you know one time as you I shake me. I say why make una not they go now the Lunge International Airport and stop the one them where una don't go meet the drug addicts the way they order them so for cow then at the country, you know, instead of una fast there. If that they were also no cow, then cocaine so then kusha so then opium, then we younger brothers and sisters they can't go to this particular thing forever. So Julia Jallo, you as a chairman, you know, because I know because I tell people in Indonesia, you would no need for do the right thing. Instead, now you they put them people here because now they do you dirty job, me people, you know, so all that stuff here. So do you Julia Jallo, people of of this particular nation, as a chairperson for the police board, we need explanation from you. Yeah, we need explanation from you. Papa? Now the all that no more. So if you not fit for say, just as I rightly say, to the Minister of Transport and Aviation, that flight the way it come, people of this country want to know who side that particular consignment come, and then in the highest one. Now I make I say thankfully enough for that, my brother, we talk the world the inside VP's office was in a heavy consignment than me people. And again, I mean the next message I go get for continue with this particular cocaine saga, me people. As I talk to Nana, I don't get so many evidence again from Guinea when they apprehend that particular vehicle. But again, guess what? Where there other two guys them again, where they arrest, where they even a prison they Guinea. Where are these particular guys? So you, the minister of I would like call it foreign affairs or what have you. This particular thing get for the normal for Almami. Where them guys they did, they self get family as well, and them guys then they again as well. Where they meet with that particular money and all that stuff. Then they these are guys operating for Almami, and thankfully enough, the first person there now the driver. You know, no wonder where them boy be the rich can be always then they play with dollar them. Yeah, and they play with dollar then driver. You know, now this them be they pass and give his sisters them, but then forget say there is scammer. God the up they look. And again, me people them see there once a special thanks. As I say, whenever person do good, he get for praise and for the good way do. Once a special thanks to the Putloko district chairman, with a chairman Sako. And again, go Putloko district council chairman, owner chairman Sako, going forward to Putloko city council, mayor winner, mayor Ali Badara, thoroughly, you know, all that stuff. Then you guys, they what they call thumbs up or he be like, we need for tell una thank you. Why may we need for tell una thank you? Because una take a proactive step concerning but the EBK. But to be honest with you guys, one of the things that way beats me imagination in all of this team here, so when I don't start to do a good actually. But now let we go the advice yourself so that we see everything. Jara one. Now something take place where this particular thing has to take place. It's fine. But to me, that particular meeting in the first place, yes, even though yes, una all am inside the Podloko District Council chairperson in office when a chairman Sheku Tijan Sako or what have you, you know, it's fine actually. But to me, may your baby come up with something where this particular talk, according to the Facebook video where I see, wallahi billahi, where like he talk about sometimes it 20 to 25 years back, where he be know that particular campus, the decency, this, that, or whatever. You know, therefore don't take una, you know, una no hammer that particular point home at all. The way una supposed to talk about them. Because the issue of the academic code and colonna Kamut, then they no matter how it takes. Nayanda now JJ Momo open a month, not so before now. Now after that meeting, now they talk to now. Waiting he talk after that meeting, that on on behalf now. But that is why they come again and guide una, give una guide for Leona no say una still get a work where it come in terms of that particular university. They forget a facelift of family people. Now JJ Momo, when once una call something we get for do the academic, he go defend them. He will go all out, he defend them. Wallah, he be like, you see where he draw the instance of Jala, this, that, whatever, and draw certain instances. At the end of the day, una not able to conquer them. But guess what? So he commodity, he talk a word where he be for saying, that word day, I feel I now pass all. For let JJ Momo go open a month, in dirty months, in people, because not to clean guy, not to decent guy at all. As a professor, giving you a whole university where you get for do people in life. Look where he filthy, look where he dirty, you know, do you have the big una? He say unana bobo them. He say unana bobo them. You know, just he even quote this bobo them. They call how will I call him JJ Blood. We are the chairman for the SLPP bullets or whatever. Bullets. Now they say sorry, not to JJ Blood, but that bobo them they call bullets. He quotes and for say the academic do have them. We really bullet the talk about. He say now this year I don't say. He say then guys have to say them go able come come in and me on field. But guess what? Una still get a stand. Now if I were you guys, as I say, Major Thoroughly don't come with a very good point where before say talk about the 20 years to 25 years back where the Pudloko how would I call it Pudloko Teachers College at that particular time, how that particular place be there. So going now, why this place instead of it for develop now, they retrogress to certain level because you get somebody they will not get development idea anyway na JJ Momo. Now if I were you guys, una for hammer that point home, una for hammer at home, go to the university and walk around na them hostels and they look the male hostels and social card and find a card and now then they use all that stuff then they so they are at the column again Mr. Shekut Jansako of the Podloko District Council going forward the Podloko City Mayor they are let una go na this particular side una invite the VC again and even invite all the paramount chiefs them let una get a meeting again with this particular VC not to forget they extort them money as well them money as not give any value na that university day. We want to see a facelift now na that particular what they call they are the big una for sake of God. These guys say una not going to conquer na you feel. But guess what? Una self as administrators them, chairpersons them or whatever, una way and no development, so wallahi billahi. I know say when una go now go take this man right down now the side, even the administrative building at that particular honest by Kuruma University, it filthy, it's not even good for what them call people, you know all that stuff. Then so they are the big una for sake of God, una get for all this meeting back, let una you take a walk in what them call now all them places, then they let una now go shame man before in campus. If he is not a professor, well indeed in professor, if he yield any good fruits, they are the big una. And again, they call on people of Bombali district, Makeni to be precise. They tell where the father then be build then hostels and they inside that particular what they call inside una picking and they go so when EBK University again na Makeni and campus. Well, then hostels and they be so good, then that campus be so good, but now una go there, una look what's they happen. So people of Makeni, paramount chief stakeholders, the chairperson, when are the Bombali district chairperson, including the Makeni City chairperson, mayor, they are big. Una said don't do for Leona go do the same thing, just like how this Sekuchigan Sako, the Poloko district chairperson do so, including waiting the mayor do so. They are big. Una said do that. Let them people also not end up for destroy them places. They also be people and they are the big una for sake of God. So do ya mayor Bebe then going forward and Sekuchigan Sako, una get for invite this particular Gigi Momo to a meeting again. Let go load the atrocities and way a commit. You know, it's just too hard rendering. You know, 20 to 25 years back, that place they be so decent, it be so good looking at the strategic location outside that particular EB coast day. Wallahi billahi, you know, even do for like he forgets a very unique facelift, but them what admire deep and destroy and include all the monies the way they take. Now he say able for conquer now because now you don't feel. Then when I say go show and say yes, this now you don't feel, but now so no more for good eat like a dog way before so it's not even was or not even was smart. Look at them places there. So look at the administrative building where this man get office when Ajiji Momo, they are the big una for sake of God, brothers and sisters. We have a role to play, and that particular role we supposed to execute and to the largest student call. So they talk to them people and with all this particular junk of what they call 350 kg people and let us see how things be they happen though. So do you, ladies and gentlemen, so far so good. Just as I rightly tell now, let us see the destruction of the APC. Now that they first get this meeting to themselves, now themselves get the idea for see let the MPs they not do nothing with them what Almaya so where Sambura they can but the SLPP MPs then for workouts again so that Sambura can not go able for do nothing. But they don't get sense. They don't know what they do. The power and God Almighty na ngi Sambura, not to me, not to you. God Almighty just use me. Now I can always say me people wajal na min by ni I didn't sat down no min calvin sat down faction now from the Epsilon. Wajal na min by ni I didn't sat down no min calvin sat down faction now from the Epsilon. Wajal na min by ni I didn't sat down no min calvin sat down faction now from the Epsilon. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue for keep we from the bad people and put darkness amongst we. Let the one ever see me people them surely and bottom and the diaspora no one for Leonori. Everything is ready, everything is well set. Now Lord pray to God Almighty, nothing order to be again, but everything left to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on your side. So far so good, ladies and gentlemen. This is the sweet voice of Northwest.